Hey, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday short. Everyone, we promise more content and you're getting more content. We will be doing a full episode bi-weekly, and then we'll be doing shorts bi-weekly as well. So you'll have new content from us every week. Yay. All right, we got a good one. So, Tip, let me tell the good people what the shorts will consist of. So, the shorts will consist of us pulling a segment from our full episodes, and we will run with it. So, this time we're doing agree or disagree, and take it away, Tiffany.
All right, so agree or disagree. So, I'm going to read the question first. This question goes to the situation we're going to explain. So, is it right for mother to go on to social media and ostracize and criticize the father? Agree or disagree? All right, so just to give everybody just a little background knowledge of the story, there is a gentleman by the name of Lamont Wiley who just recently took his own life. The background story goes that here's a Facebook post about it just to kind of give you a visual. But Lamont was a homeless father of two. He actually took his own life because he was humiliated, like we just mentioned, by his children's mother. So he was homeless. His mother's children dropped the children off to him. The place that he was staying, he was no longer welcome. Not no longer welcome, but the person wasn't there, so he couldn't stay. So his children and him were forced to sleep outside. Once the children were dropped back off to the mother's house, the child was then shown to see that they had a lot of mosquito bites, and she put it on Facebook, along with a lot of comments saying how terrible of a father he is and how much of a deadbeat father he is. After all of the Facebook comments and posts, his last post, as it said right here, sorry, Michaela and Carson, Daddy loves you, he took his life. So that is the what we want to talk about. Agree or disagree. So sis, what say you?
For me, I try to give my answer acting like I didn't know the outcome of the story, and I had to do that to be fair and to be honest, I think too, because I think if you listen to that, you want to naturally say, oh, she was so wrong. But for me, as having been the mom in that situation and not gotten the support and help from my children's father, I get wanting to vent on a public forum to almost shame them into doing the right thing. Some people don't do right unless they're being watched or seen and talked about. It's sad, but it's true. So I want to say, and being honest and transparent, no, I don't think she was wrong, but I'm absolutely sorry that this young man took his life and felt like he didn't have any other recourse to get mental health help and all of that. That was my take on it.
Okay. All right. So very much so heard. I will say that this is probably one of the topics that we actually can have an agree or disagree and have some finality to it. Mm-hmm. Me, what I would say is I disagree. I don't think that personal matters as such should be put on Facebook. It happens. It's entertainment for the rest of the world. But we also have to remember that we're all real people, right? So I know, I had a bad situation with a relative of mine where I'm talking about dragged me across the internet. I'm talking about people that knew us, didn't know us, was talking to me crazy. And I know the type of person I am. And had I been, emotionally weaker or mentally weaker, that could have done something, especially at that point in my life when things weren't going the way that I wanted them to go. So you never know where, you don't know what people are going through and what you're adding to the fire. So, again, I do agree that sometimes embarrassment, puts some fire up under your bottom. And as a woman and as a mother, I have sacrificed and gone through things where I have made sure that my children never go through things like that.
Right.
And so you look at the anger and the hurt when you look at the person that made the child with you. They do not do. You're trying to figure out, and that's where that hurt and that pain. I understand it, but I disagree with the way it's handled.
But can we clock her positivity a little bit? I'm sorry. I know that this is a very serious outcome, okay? But let's clock her positivity a little bit. This was a gentleman who knew that he was not going to have adequate shelter for his children for the night, and opted to sleep outside with them in substandard conditions to the point where the child returned home with a bunch of bites and stuff all over him. You know what I mean? So for me,
yeah,
Tiff, we finally disagreed. Hot diggity damn.
Yeah.
It took us a minute.
Yeah, because like just to go off that last little point, because in my head I'm like, well, Dad, he's a deadbeat, but what was so important that you was doing that you knew that he was in certain situations and you still dropped the babies off over there? So
Well, I think
what
look. Let's look at the read what they said now. I think it was that he was house hopping is what it sounded like. And once he found out that place wasn't going to be available, he should have then called her back and told her, no, this is a no this time because I'm not in a safe place. As a parent, fuck your shame, fuck your embarrassment, fuck your pride. Do what's best for your child. And in that regard, he didn't do what was best. And I think that's what led to her feeling like she just had, nowhere to vent. It's unfortunate, but Tiff, yes, please tell the good people to get mental health help if they need it.
Yes. So what we're going to do is I definitely went and looked at some resources. We have the National Suicide Helpline where you can call, you can email, you can text. If you're blind or deaf, you can still access these people. I also looked up a few links. It's not, it's very local help, but if anybody in the comments wants to drop any resources for single fathers, because there's all types of things out there for single women with or without kids, not so many that we can put our hands on. Also, for that point, I know it's running long, but I just wanted to bring this one last point out that I do want to tell our young men is that especially with children, especially single fathers, is that a lot of the times we say that there are no resources out there, but I feel like, maybe just some of the prideful things of being a man and not, asking for those types of help, they kind of cut their hand off before they can reach out and, reach out for those resources. Because there definitely are some, although there are few, but there are some out there.
Absolutely.
And that is it.
Ooh, this was rough. This was a deep one. This was deep. All right, you guys. Yes. We can't wait to hear what you think, agree or disagree. Tiffany will be putting the poll up, so we can't wait to read the comments. Because it got heated a little bit last time. Got a little heated.
It did. Just a little bit. All right. Thank you. And we will.
One more plug.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Next week, we coming back with a full episode for you guys. Next Wednesday, we are super, super, super excited. It'll be a full show. So come on back and chill with us. Bye.
Bye.